Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the stream. I hope everyone is having a fantastic and a wonderful day today. Zoom me over to here. Shadow, hello, good evening. Whoa. Ooh, hope you have been having a good day and doing very well. We're going to do more game dev today, and I'm at a stage where I don't know. I don't know how to progress forward. So we'll have to figure this out. But we will. We will figure it out. We'll figure it out. We've got a couple of options to do things, and change some stuff up. I have been looking at procedural mesh generation for making the things, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to try and do that on stream because I don't know anything about it yet. The great day at work, change your regular work hours. Oh, okay. Are you working earlier or later now, or is it better for you or worse? That's the important thing. Emble, hello, good evening. Hope you are having a good day. Yes. So I'm not sure which way. So let's just go over here. Down over here. So, start at 7:30, we finish at 4:30. So you finish. Oh, nice, cool. That's I would not like that. I would not like that because I like the sleepy. I like the sleepy. I also need to move stream chat because it's right in the way. Put it there also. Actually, there. There kind of works, but also doesn't at the same time. What if I gave it a background? Ooh. No, because that would be in the way of the data I'm showing. I don't know where to put chat. I do not know where to put chat. I might put chat over there and then move the hierarchies. Let's move them over here. Let's see if I can just move those over there, which is a bit different, but I'll put chat there. There we go. Hopefully that's okay. Hopefully we can see that still. And then, yeah, chat will be kind of in the way of what we're doing there, but yeah, so we'll yeah. Whoop. Oh, okay. Don't dabble in Facebook. Facebook? You mean Facebook? I don't use Facebook. I haven't used Facebook for many years. So, no. Or does dabble in FB mean something else? Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't use Facebook at all. Haven't for a very long time. It was essentially, obviously, had all my school friends on there, which makes sense because that's what you do. But the stuff that they were posting, considering they were supposed to be in the top classes and way more apparently intelligent than I was, the stuff that they were posting was just like, do you actually know how to read? I'm questioning whether anybody knows how to read or absorb information, because some of the stuff that are posted, that's just wrong. It's just blatantly wrong. But you're still posting it. I don't. Yeah. So just yeah, no. So just don't. I just don't. So yeah. I'm going to bring that down a little bit though, so it's away from the toolbar. There we go. Okay. So what is it that I want to do here? We have when we create our thing, we have our chips being made. They are a set specific size. I want the user to be able to research and gain the ability to make these chips whatever size they want to make them. That's very true. Yes, thank you very much for that. Thank you. Yeah, so I want to have like the chips be, you know, maybe a minimum of 4. So they've got to be like a square. But I want the user to be able to make their own chips, if that makes sense. So you can research. You can design a chip that has so many inputs and outputs, and so on and so forth, and then every input and output requires a little bit more power to run. So is you have to choose what size you want your chip to be and how you want to do it. Would be the idea, and how many connection pins it has, and you need to design a socket for it, and then design a processor for it. But the beauty of that is that you could design a socket and then you could have 3 different processors that do 3 different things. So right now we've got compute, sound, and graphics, but you could have a chip that does, and you could have multiple chips moving stuff around and do things. So yeah, and then you could create a giant chip for your memory and have a giant memory module, which would be cool. But I don't know which way around I'll do that. I've got a couple. So let me go into the not the to do. The to do is stuff that's well, sort of to do, but yeah. Changeable socket and CPU sizes, and then minimum size for CPU based on added features. So it has to be done there. Chip size. Increases power requirements. Chip increases power requirements. So long as they can work together. Socket is always best multiple sides. No, that's a good suggestion, but no cable. I would also need to have it so that you can't. I need a way to make sure that you can't put a belt here and it plugs into the pin. Hence why we made this slightly bigger, so that this will not connect to the so if we scroll down here, see it has no destination. So I'd need to make sure that the chips do that. I also need to do a bit of research on CPU socket. There was a dual inline package. There was then the PLCC, which is a surface mounted, and then PGA, which is pin grid array, which is where it all kind of went to very, very quickly. It went to a pin grid array. However, lots of what's called PLCC, which is basically on chip. Memory nowadays still uses PLCC designs. Most stuff does that. So socket 1, which is 1989, which had 169 pins. Socket 2 had 238 pins. Socket 3 had 237 pins. It was actually 1 pin lower. I'm not sure if I want to start with these. This is our motherboard. That's a big chip on it. Or whether I want to just go with sockets and because I could pre-program sockets. I could make sockets. For this, but the problem is that it's knowing. So this one, for instance, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's 22. Yes, it's a 20 pin. Yeah. So let me just 22 times 5. This is got space for it takes 110 slots underneath it. So it could potentially have 110 pins on it. But to get access to the pins in the center, you would need to have multi-layered motherboard technology, which we haven't even remotely got to yet. That will allow you to go under the motherboard and place another row of pins, and then there'd be a vertical pin through hole. It's 22. It's 22. It's a 20 pin chip with one on either end. So that's 22 times 5. But yeah. So until you go up to when you actually go to sockets would allow you to plug in from any base, but I don't want them plugging in the corners, if that makes sense. Because what I don't want is I don't want to be able to potentially do that and have two that connect to the same pin. Sorry, it's because it's the CPU is a 40 pin, so it's 20 on either side and then one on either end. But so I don't. So I want to make sure, even when we have a square socket. So even when we go to a square socket, I need to make sure the corner pins don't exist, if that makes sense. So there's put this one here, yeah. So obviously that's socket 1. That's the first socket. So you see here we have the dip, the dual inline ones. So these are dual inline ones here. Even though they're soldered to the motherboard, they're dual inline. So that's what we've currently got now. You see there's a couple of them on the processor there. There's even one there which is using the other connection, but they're all very similar. Then they went to sockets like these, and the sockets ones, obviously all the connections didn't come off the side, they went underneath and through the motherboard, like these little connections here. That's our belts. That is let me zoom in on this. So this here, one of these, is technically what we'll be building as a belt. So you'll build these as belts, and they will connect like the CPU to this thing here, and these are plated through holes, so they go down to the motherboard. They go either under or into the middle of the motherboard, and then go somewhere else, and then we'll pop up again somewhere else, probably over here somewhere. They'll pop back up here. That might even go down there and pop up here. Who knows? But yeah, but that's what I need to be able to do. But what I don't want is the ability to have a belt that connects to this edge here and this edge here, so they both connect to the corner pin. Yeah. I'm just, but from a game perspective, I don't want you to be able to have two belts connect to the same pin. It's got to be one belt per pin. That's just how it goes. So I would need to have some way when I create the socket. So we have a socket created here. I either do this, one end of it is always blank, but then that wouldn't work for this one, because you need every outside. Because the first socket we're going to design obviously will be a socket, and we'll just have pins all on the outside. So it has many pins on the outside as you want to do. You know, you can research it and you can make your own socket, so that's fine. And then later you'll research through hole plating, so you'll research another layer of the motherboard, and you'll be able to connect all the other ones to the layer underneath the motherboard. Then you'll have a second row of pins connected to it, and then if you have another layer, you can have a third row of pins, so on and so forth. Every layer you can increase your I don't know how I'm going to even remotely do this yet, but I will figure that out as and when we do. But I need to basically cut off the corner pieces. I need to make sure the corner ones never have a pin connected into them. Yeah, which isn't. It's not going to be realistic anyway, because it's going to be you make it up. You design a processor and you say, well, I want. So when you're researching your next processor, you research the brain and you go, right, I want to research a processor that is 40 pins long and 10 pins wide, for instance. So you get something that's like this but bigger, with connections at either end, and it just misses the corner pieces. Which means if it's 40 by 10, that'd be 40, 80, 10 and 10, which is 20. That'd be 100, but you'd miss four corners off, so it'd become a 96 pin processor. Because right now what I'm doing is in the game wise, this belt, if I actually come here, you'll be able to see it. I can find where the thing was. There it is. It's not doing it. But the belts are it's not showing the actual gizmos, but they're raycasting forward. They're trying to set up their connections. They're trying to find a processor in front of them, and there isn't one because it's not there. If I put a belt here, it will find it because it's there. The processor's there. So it's that, which means try. The issue I'm having is that I don't know how to procedurally generate meshes at runtime in the game. So I don't know how the user can say, hey, I want a processor that is this size, and it shows a processor that size. My best guess would be that you can have some way of you have a base model, like you break the model up into segments, and then you create the thing and it tells you how big the segments are, and then you use weighted things to go, but if it's on an edge, it gets this, it gets a pin. Because as much as I could model every single processor and every single thing, you would then be limited to, you can research socket 1 and that's it, and then you research socket 2, That's it. You can't research stuff yourself. You can't like go, I want to have this size thing here for my world. So, which I'd like to give the user the opportunity to do. Same as when it comes to things like graphics cards. Graphics cards, PCI, for instance, has a set number of pins. Yeah. So PCI has a set number of pins, but I could say, hey, you're going to create a socket that has, you know, it's just a socket that is this many pins, for instance, and then you plug a card into it. So you plug like a graphics card or sound card into it. And the more pins you have, obviously, the more data you can move. But you might go, well, I want to have one that's got 100 pins on it then to make it as fast as possible, which is fine. But then the card you plug into it must match that. So you must build a 100 pin card. And the more pins the card has, the more power draw it will add. But you've got to counter it. Yeah, you can go big if you want to, but then you would have to do many more contracts to get your power to keep it going. And if you're not using every single one of those inputs and outputs, kind of wasted. Yeah, 10,000 watt power supply. Yeah. But the idea is going to be we'll have capacitors that you also have to put on the board somewhere. So you have like a capacitor, and that stores power. And when you complete a contract, the contract rewards you with power. And that goes into your storage, and then over time your storage, gets used up. So the capacitors just charge, and they charge with the contract completion, and they discharge as you're using them over time. So if you're wasting power, you'd have to do more contracts to keep your power tops up, which means you wouldn't be able to then build up a reservoir of power to then do research, because research rewards you with new technologies, but no power. There's no reward to it. It just unlocks new technologies, which will then let you take bigger contracts to do more things. So you've got to invest some time and power into that. So let me think, how could I do this? I would need to research how to do procedural generation. Yeah, okay, have fun, Shannon. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy sleep. Sleep is good, so enjoy. So, right, okay. I could build a chip. Would just be a square blob. It's not a problem, and then we just add to it. And if you're on the outside, you add a pin. I can. I don't even know where to begin. The way I would do it myself would be I'd slice this into pieces. I'd have just one width slice, and then however long you make the processor, you just duplicate that slice all the way along. The problem to that is that then that would be a dedicated slice. But what I actually want to do is I just want to have a cube that shapes to the size of whatever it needs to be. And then the legs, I need to redo the legs. Let's the legs would have to be a more universal design that just goes down, because they have to go inside as well. They have to be more like a pin that just goes down, and they could show on the side as well. I can make them square. Okay, so let's try let's make a pin, shall we? So let's go into our here. Let's go into Pro Builder. Make it one by one by one. Set the transform. Okay. What I want to do here is oh yeah, go away. You're fine. Turn off that. That's right. Alright, I'll tell you what we'll do. First and foremost, let's select this face. Let's set the pivot, and then we'll reset you again, and we'll move you up. Okay. So you're not actually. Yeah, so you need to be slightly bigger or slightly more shrunk down. Let's scale it to 0.1, and that should, yeah, that shrinks it down to 1. So that is correct. So that's fine. And then what I want to do is, I think I want to be grabbing this one and moving it up. Okay. The problem with doing with stuff so small. Right, can I make it bigger again? Because it's easier to actually deal with if it's bigger. Camera movements aren't as large. And then I want to change this to be 0.1. So I need to make a pin out of this basically. So move that bit back down and hold shift. Do that. Okay. And I want to Weird, the scale isn't snapping. That is weird. I don't know why the scale isn't snapping. Extrude faces. No, don't extrude faces. Bevel? Nope. Can't remember what it is I want to do. I want to very annoying that that isn't the scale isn't snapping. Yeah. I don't know why the scale isn't snapping. It's very annoying. Anyway. Yeah. No. No. What am I doing? That one. Why is the yes, I got the transparency working. Why isn't that snapping? That's very, very annoying. Yeah, that is very annoying that they the scale, it's enabled. It's enabled, but it's not. Campbell, hello, good evening, and I hope you enjoy your dinner. So let's select nope, loop, select loop. Connect vertices, no, not connect vertices. Weld vertices if they are within that distance of each other. There we go. Okay. Now if I grab a vertex here and I move it, yep, here's the whole thing. Cool. Okay. Right. Okay. I do, however, need to let this face here, and I would like to set the pivot to that point, if you don't mind. Nope. Okay. Why not? Set pivot to selection. It's in the wrong place, that's why. There we go. Okay, so if we say that's going to be our leg, as it were. It doesn't need a collider. Silver. Could really be gold, I suppose, shouldn't it? Yeah, it should be gold. There we go. Put on. Let's make it a little bit more fancy as well if we're going to be doing this sort of thing. Let's add edge ring. Edge loop. Let's bevel them. It doesn't work. Okay, so untick these ones down here. Then bevel them. Give it something of a different style sort of look. I don't know, 0.1 is definitely enough. 0.15, we'll go about halfway for this one down here. Oh, yeah. Okay, confirm. I don't want to put that node and that node together. That's vertices first, confirm. Collapse. 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 Oh. There we go. And I've got something that sort of resembles a pin. Think about down. Let's call this the CPU pin. I'm going to leave the top on because it may be half merged inside things, like when we have our dual inline thing, we might do that. Okay. Also kind of big, or is it kind of big? Hold on, let's see. It is a little bit big for what I wanted to do. Could we oh, why do you not? I don't get it. Okay. I do not get why you do not Yep. 0.201. Okay, snap to the nearest thing. Enable the CPU. That's it, that's right in the top of it, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so what if we move this out to be aligned with there, which would be the center of that. That's how it would look. It's 0.16 high. I don't want it to be 0.16 high. That's better, 0.15 high. I would love to know why the scale tool does not work. That's actually very, very annoying. Because with it not snapping to things, I'm looking at these numbers here, and I obviously can't get the numbers to line up perfectly well because it just doesn't snap to it. So. Turn that guy off, please. That's what our pin would look like. And then if we enable the CPU, it would stick out of the side of the CPU a bit. We'd have to make the CPU slightly taller, which is fine. Not fussed about that. I made the CPU actually taller and wider, so the pins actually just come out the bottom of it, so it's not quite a jawed in line, but it is a jawed in line. So okay, undo that. Yeah. Zero, and then I want to export this. Right click, Pro Builder, export prefabs, CPU pin. Okay. Let's create a new folder. I'm going to call this procedural. And Pro Builder stuff. Okay. You can go into there, and you can go to Pro Builder models. Okay. Right. And then the CPUs will be fairly simple to do because they are just going to be I think I could literally just make them out of a cube. but I don't think I want to. No, delete that. I want to make them with Pro Builder. Okay, and I want to make it 0.1 by 0.15 by 0.1. You know, by 0.1. Okay. I'm going to 0.15 like that. Okay, and then I want to edit the thing. Give me that. You go to there. Set pivot. Like that. If I come off this and select this, the pivot is actually down there. Excellent. Okay. Cool. Right. And then we can call this this should not be called CPU pin. This should be a chip pin. Okay. Let's get rid of the collider because we're going to add a collider to you at runtime. Okay. Your material, however, wants to be the grey colour, I think. Most CPUs were kind of greyish. Yeah. And you're going to have hard edges because I can't chamfer the edges down like that. What I would like, however, let's call this a CPU main segment. Okay, we'll duplicate you. We'll call this a CPU corner segment. We will grab this and go with it. The corner segments are slightly rounded. They won't have a pin in the corner segments, so that when we come to the corner of the chip, it just goes around slightly rounded. Right, let's come out one more with that. Do that. Yeah. Okay. So, export. I wanted to do it with Pro Builder because I need to make sure it's the pivot point is set correctly. Okay, so prefabs, you and you can both go into the Pro Builder models. You and you can go into procedural. Okay, that's going to make a chip. We'll have to figure out how to stitch all these things together. I'm really not sure how I'm going to stitch them all together. And realistically, I don't want to be making a chip like that because then it's got loads of geometry in it that just isn't used, isn't needed. Like if the chip's going to be a certain size, it can just be made that size, but we'll go with this for the minute. We'll go with this for the minute. We'll see how this goes. So, which means I can also get rid of a lot of stuff from my pin, because the whole top part of the pin won't be seen ever. So we could get rid of all of this. Just have the slightly down part. but we won't. For the minute, we'll leave it. Okay, so how do I create a mesh from multiple meshes? Nope, that's not undo. And do combine meshes. I don't know what that would do. So, right, so I need a script that basically goes that goes can I also resize this thing? Still massive. Six. Okay, boom. And then we'll go to the grid material, and I need to by 260. There we go. That should work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, there we go. Cool. Right. Okay. I need to figure out a way to make this scale based on the size of the material, or the size of the plane, for instance. Let me open that up in the one. Hold on. I might be able to do it with shader graph, of course. Yes. Okay. Cool. Let's do that. Let's do that very quickly. Create a folder. Cool. Graph. And here I want to create a new shader graph. Let's just go off on a complete tangent somewhere different. I want to have a lit shader, I think. Hold on. That's not what I needed. Hold on. UV tile stretch. Oh. I think I have the thing that I need here, but it's not. Not doing what I wanted to do. So oh, I have not used this in a very, very long time. Let's enlarge this, shall we? Although this was from 5 years ago, so let's see if I can find one. I remember there was a video I watched ages ago, and I can't find it. So There's a shader graph. I completely forgot about the shader graph there. Right, that's not what I want. That's Yugui. I don't want Yugui. That's not a need. Hold the phone. Okay, hold on. And offset. That's what I want to do. So what I want to do here is, I don't know whether I picked the right thing. Need a draft. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Hold on. Read that one. Nope, read that one. So it is this one. It is this one, but this one is. Has this got vertex positions, which is not. What I expect. Oh no, hang on. No, it's renet. Right. So obviously Shader Graph's had an update since some of these video things and stuff has done so. So yeah. So what I need to do is I need to add a texture 2D, which is going to be our main texture. Put that in, and obviously we put that to the base color. No, we don't. We put it to. Oh, hold on. How do we? Difficult to see what I'm doing here. That, I think. Let's go into our world. Let's create a new cube because I need to learn how this works anyway. It's been so long since I've done shader graph stuff, so boom. And I can right click on this and go create a new material and call this the tile texture. Put that onto there. Oop. And if I select the main thing as, let's say, we pick the checkerbox like that, that's fine. However, if we scale this guy, it's the wrong button. If we scale this guy, you'll see it scales the texture. We don't want to do that. We don't want to scale the texture. Okay. How do we not scale the texture? So we need to take this texture and we need to break it up and find the scale of our side and remap the UVs to it. Okay. Which is yeah. So I'll adding an offset like that, and then that goes into the UVs. Okay, and we can set the scale there. So if we say 5x5, for instance, save this. Okay, I need to take this out of the well, there we go. I can make that bigger like this, and then I can, oh no, I can't. Nope, I'm not gonna make set that back in there, and then go to the scene, and you see it's scaled 5x5, which is fine. But I need to get the scale of the actual physical cube itself. Okay. How do we do that? How do we do that? I believe we can get it from a. It's a matrix node, but I don't know which one it is. Let me go forward more in this little tutorial I'm watching. I am watching a tutorial by Sunny Valley Studios. I say I'm watching. I'm not. I'm literally just skipping through. So we want a object. Yeah. We take the scale and we split the scale apparently. And we need to take the R and B, because the split is actually trying to split a colour. Let's try to split red, green, and blue. That goes into there. Okay. Save. Let it recompile. Go to our scene. Let this recompile. And it has not taken the scale. It's taking the X. It's taking the Z, but it's not taking the Y. Okay. How do I also scale it on the Y? That's how I can scale the X and the Z. So we've got the Y here, but I don't know how to scale it. Windows can't install updates. Really? That's nice. I don't know why you're trying to install the update. That's annoying. I don't know if I need to scale it. I think we might be able to get away with not scaling on the Y if I could find the correct thing. So is it? So it's scanning the other access on the Z. So the Z is being used for that as well. So that's not going to work. I keep coming to a different fold thinking it's different. So this is not going to work for us. So we need to. Can I sample a texture? 2T. How can I do right, I don't know how to scale the Y. I don't know how I'm doing any of this, to be honest with you. I'm just kind of making it up as I go. I would like to also create a new one here, a boolean, and called is plain. Okay. How do I do a boolean that would then go, if I tick this boolean, it would multiply the output by 10? Oh, do I, I can't input into that. Is there an if logic branch? So if this is on, then we times everything by 10. If not, we leave it going there. And that's because the plane has a 10 times side thing on it. So save. That works. Cool. Okay. So if I get rid of this cube, and I take the tile texture, and we change this to be the grid texture, and then we drop this on not the motherboard. We're going to drop this on the grid plane, don't we? Oh, that's fine, but I need to include transparency, don't I? How do I include transparency? Nope. Split transform. Use tiling and offset. Then inspector name precision mode inherit vector. Transparent. Okay. And the alpha goes to the alpha. Right. Hey, here we go. Cool. Right. I need to grab the grid and I need to tick the button down here. Enable GPU instancing. Oh. Ah. No. Nope. Grids are 100, aren't they? And I've just realised as well, grids are not 100, grids are wait. Okay, save. Because I'm times everything by 10 anyway, because I need to shrink everything down to that size. So, yep, scene, reload, blop. We click this plane, blop. There we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then keep doing that. Keep doing that. And then I want to have another float here. It's going to be opacity. How do you spell opacity? That's how you spell opacity. Cool. Okay. How do I set its default? Default value is 100. Okay. Oop, bring it down here. And then I want to take this and I want to divide it by minus, no, not 1 minus, no, no, no. Subtract. I want to subtract 100. I want to add this to it and put that in there. The best way I can think of doing that. Okay, save that. Oop. We come down here and we change the opacity. Oh wow. Not work anywhere near the way I expected it to. What did we set the grid up to? It was transparent. It was spectacular, wasn't it? Spectacular, transparent, front facing, auto depth, auto clipping. Do not cast or receive shadows. Clear coat, I don't know what that means. Right. Okay. Oh, wait. Smoothness. What do I do here? So, pipeline lit. Spectacular transparent. Linear mode with alpha. Excess alpha clipping clash shadows. No. Not preserve spectacular lighting. There we go. That's better. Okay, but you now need to tell me why. Hundreds like that, but if I bring these down, it's madness. Divided more from 8. Clip in smoothness 0. Save. Why is that doing that? That is weird. Okay, that's better. But now if I bring this down, it disappears, which is weird. I'm not doing alpha clipping anymore. We subtract 100 and then we add whatever this is here, and that goes into our alpha. I bet because the alpha isn't that, the alpha is 0 to 1, isn't it? I don't know how you set up advanced stuff on these. Like a limits on things. I'm not sure how you do that. You come to a divide. $100. Still doing weird. I want it about 10, but I want it to be able to render further away than that. It's got to be one of these. Render faces front, blending mode. Alpha. I basically want it to be the same as this guy. Blending mode is alpha. Spectacular highlights, no. Avoid using an alpha and alpha threshold are constant for the entire material. Maybe this would cause interruption visual effects, which would add. I don't know what depth best is. Apparently nothing. Oh, does something. Less. Equal. Greater. Always. Right. Depth right. Force enable. Oh. Unity shader graph. That's not what I want. Not texture limit. Oh, it's something to do with LODs, isn't it? I want the LODs. Where's the LOD thing? No, not LOD. Hold on. Happy inclusion isn't changing anything. Okay. I'm very confused by this. I don't know what would be causing this. It's definitely something to do with the alpha channel. It literally is not rendering the stuff. Yes, just rendering around the camera. But if I go and increase the opacity, stuff a bit, that's the mip maps, isn't it? That's the mip maps. There we go. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. It looks awful now. That's okay. Uh, 0.5 shows more. 0.6. 0.9. Right, so if I don't generate mip maps, it looks awful. It does weird artifacting. I want to generate mip maps. I'm going to reset this to defaults. Average transparency. There you go. Now you can't see it. It's invisible. So what I need to do, I think, is I need to add the sample 2D LOD. Let's try that instead. Ooh. Now just very grey. Okay, so that's obviously the LOD, the LOD1. Nope, that's still just grey. Okay. So get rid of that one. Sample texture. Hang on. I did have that going to the base colour, didn't I? Yes. Sample texture. I think that was in there, but that was in there. You might guess. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a clue what I'm doing when it comes to these sort of things. Oh, now you are just purely grey. Oh, I don't want to see the alpha is transparency. No. Okay. Right, so let's reset you again. Hold on. Reset. Apply. Hey, right, okay. So now I can see it with the distance. Right, make this point. Oops. Yeah, make it better, yeah. Right. Don't know. I didn't change anything here. Oh, was I taking the alpha from the thing and then? No, I just wanted to. Right, idiot, I know what I was doing wrong. I was taking the actual alpha from the image and then modifying that, which of course would mean that the thing would fail, wouldn't it? Yeah. There we go. Now we have a grid which is the correct size, and if we come in here and we resize our grid, let me go to the edge of it here. It adds to it as we go. It doesn't. When we are a solid number, it adds to it. It doesn't do that. So that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. Cool. 10% is a bit much too. Let's lower this down even further. Go down to like 1%. Play. %, 4%, 4% alpha. There we go. 2% seems good. That's better. That's better. Okay. What I want to do, however, is go to the motherboard, and you really need to get rid of your smoothness. That's better. Okay, so now the motherboard is like a nice deep green color. That's cool. Now I can up the grid plane's opacity a bit, or maybe not. 2.5. 2.5. There we go. Cool. Okay, so we have the grid. Might even have the grid disappear as you zoom out. Anyway, that will save all this stuff. Because it does. Excellent. Right. Okie dokie. So I now have a texture that can expand. That's useful. That's very useful, because that means that if we make a CPU with a texture on it, we can resize the if we have a texture with if we we can resize the CPU and not have to worry about that. But I don't want to resize it. I want to merge stuff together. So, okay. So now I want to go into my buildable objects and I want to redo these. If I I know how to do it. I think I know how to do it. I just need to instantiate a load of models all at once, and then so let's go to our let's go to the game manager here. Let's create a new thing here. Let's do a temporary. Hold on. Procedural. So what I want to do is I want to create a new baker. Create a new entities, a baker script, and call this procedural objects. Okay, we're going to have to hard code some things here, so let's make this procedural. Public game object. New segment. Corner segment. Yep. In. Okay. Nope. Oh, it should be called procedural objects baker. Okay. Objects data. in procedural stuff just for the moment. Okay, and this wants to have a entity. Chip segment. Want to segment chip pin? I don't know if I can do it. Apparently I can. Cool. Okay. Add component. Entity. New procedural object data. Transform usage flags. Okay. And then a public 3 testing size. Okay, well, this is actually going to be a float 2. It's going to be an int 2. Okay, because it must be an odd number. Okay, so public int 2 testing size, and then header must be odd number, and then in here I want to do the thing that I did in hex breakout. Let's go to our documents, Unity projects, breakout, assets, scripts, all authoring, buffer authoring, game manager authoring. Was it this one? Yes, it was this one here. Excellent. Excellent. So I can just paste this in here. X. And whoa. Just same here. Save. Let's put the baker on the in fact, let's create a new object just for the moment, just so I can leave things procedural. Put the baker on here. I want to change these to ++. Save. Yeah, there must be an odd number. So if I make them 2, they go 3, and if I make it, say, 8, it will go 9. Okay. So let's go into our gigabit species, and let's go with the corner segment, the main segment, and then a pin. And what I want to do is I want to have a thing that will create a chip for us. Okay. So let's go back to our procedural thing here. Procedural creator system. Procedural object creator system. Put in the procedural thing. Okay. State dot apply for update procedural object data. I also want to have a tag, don't I? Let's create a tag. Make tag. I enable component. Okay, and then in the maker, add component. Procedural make tag. Okay, put it. There you go. So we'll add the tag to it as well. So when we first start it, it will make the thing to whatever size we have, which is fine. Okay, and then states.required for update to make tag. Cool. And then in on update, I want to go system API dot set enable dot get singleton dot get singleton entity API.entity manager states.entity manager dot set component enabled make a tag. Oops. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we disable it every frame if it's enabled. Okay, and then here I want to create the thing based on the procedural data. So procedural data equals system API get singleton data procedural objects. Yes, so I want to do a 4. Yep, there we go. Bum, 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 bum. entity equals state entity that instantiate chip segment, kind of. Set component data, new. Actually, get the local transform. Local transform equals get component data from the entity. Transform dot position equals new float 3 x comma y. Yep. Okay. X divided times 0.1 f, and then times 0.1 f. Okay. Before I do that, I need to find where is the camera? The camera. Where's the camera movement object? 16 by 14. Just offset them solid. Okay, that's fine. Local transform equals new set component. Right, so that gets the transform and sets the transform. The rotation will matter. We'll have to figure that one out. Let's just find out whether this system works here already. Okay, go here. Save everything. Push play. Can't call get simultaneously on queries containing enable component types. Oh, really? Oh. Oh, right. Okay. Okay, so you definitely did not create any entities, did you? Right. I know what. I know what. I didn't send the testing, so I didn't. Aha. Cool. Okay, what is the testing side? Testing size is let's make it 3 by 5. Play. Ooh. This ooh. I know where that is. I know where that is. That's a cool effect, though. Depth test needs to be L equals. There we go. That's better. Cool. So it made the thing. It's made multiple boxes. If I was to bring the camera in here, inside it, you see it's made of multiple boxes, which is not fantastic. Okay. I don't know how to merge them all into one mesh. That's what this is here. There's mesh.combine meshes, but I don't think that works in here. So, okay, but this is the way I was thinking of doing it. Just literally, we send in the size of the chip, and it builds a chip. No, it makes a chip. The problem is I need to then store this as one entity somewhere, and it's creating multiple entities over and over and over. Modify multiple. Okay. Oh. Right, so you can do it via the vertices, so we could create a thing via vertices and know exactly how big we want to make it. Then we just play with the vertices on the side. We'll go with this in a minute. We'll go with it. So, right. So I need to do a bit of testing in here. I need to find out whether we're on a corner piece. Okay. Also, this needs to have a public bool every side. Okay, and then up here in the baker, public bool every side. Down here, every side. Save. Okay. Which direction is X and which direction is Y? How are we doing this by our default size one? So they're down there. This goes off in the X direction, doesn't it? So camera is here, X direction. So we want to do X sizes. So so first and foremost, I need, well, let's come down here. Let's just go to it. So if X equals 0, or you're almost right, but you're not. This doesn't make any sense. Don't do the Y one. Actually, or equals X. Yep, that's exactly what I want. I don't want that. Equals segment entity. Okay. So if data dot every side no, this is doing the corner segments, isn't it? No. This is doing the corner segments, so we're just doing the corner ones, okay? Okay. If x equals 0, and y equals 0, or x equals 0 and y equals data dot testing size, right? Or so bottom corner, top corner, y and x, and that'd be y0 x0, or x equals data dot testing size of x, y equals 0, or x equals data dot testing size dot x and y equals data dot testing size dot y. Okay. So 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, then we spawn an entity. We need to figure out what corner it is as well, because we need to make sure we rotate it to the correct one, but we'll just leave that for the minute. Save. Okay. One step at a time. Okay. This needs to be in an else Okay, play. What is happening here? Huh? Why have you made a million things when you shouldn't have done that? You should have. What now? Okay, this is confusing. Why is this script still running when the maker tag is not there? It's disabled. What? Only run once. I don't know why this isn't. This is weird. It did work once. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That's 3 by 5. So that's making 3 by 5. So that's fine. Even if I tick this in there. But that's weird. The tag obviously isn't working. It's not creating the thing I want it to create. So that's okay. Yeah, this has got to be -1, hasn't it? I forgot about that. Yeah. This goes from 0 to just underneath. So, yeah. Play. Aha! Ha 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 ha. Right, okay. And I need to rotate these around. Need to identify what corner I'm in. How would I identify what corner I'm in? Public, not void. Public, I need to be in radians, don't I? Yeah, I can't remember. That's got to be in radians. Public, do I return a float? I think I return a float. Float, yeah. Corner rotation. And here I need to send in the procedural objects data. Okay. Return 0. So you stop moaning. Corner transform.rotation equals get corner rotation data. Now you want a quaternion, don't you? There's my placement system. How did I figure out the placement system? How do we get the rotation? Hold on. Right, okay. I suppose I will return a quaternion here. Return new quaternion. But Wheeler, what's wrong with this? Wheeler does not exist in quaternion. Yes, it does. Oh, not new. Don't use the new. Yeah, return current origin. Yeah, then we just need to figure out this number here. Float rot equals 0. Okay. So down here I want to do a set of if statements. So if I basically want to steal this, but I need each one to be its own individual thing. Data dot. Oh no, hang on. I need to know our current location, don't I? Int x max int y int y max. Okay, so if x, y, okay. Rock equals 0 equals 90. Rock equals 180 and equals 70. Okay. So I've got these two mixed up, haven't I? So 270, 270 and 118. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Okay. And then here, we create a chip segment. And then we'll go here, we'll go if x equals 0 or x equals or x equals -1. Okay, then we are on the x side and we want to copy this and rename this to chip dependency. Chip dependency, and change this to be transform. Okay. Okay. No, this doesn't do that. So this wants to go from okay. Very surprised that worked first time around. Very confused that worked first time around as well. Why did that work? Oh, because you ignored the corners anyway. You already ignored the corners. Nice. Okay. And then here we want to do if data dot every side, and then we want to do pin entity x, pin transform x. Y. Wait. Do all that. Okay, so I can use the same. Yeah, because I'm in a nest, so this is, yeah. Okay. So. Wait. That's it, it's ever side down, go play. We should get a pin there. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. So I can do that, but then I need to somehow get all of this and put a box around it. This is an awful way of doing it, though. This is a very, very bad way of doing it. What I should be doing is I don't want to access children or access. A way to set. Dot. There's no child dot. Three overloads in it. What's the other overloads? Entity, native array of entity, output entities. What? Well, that could actually be useful. You add this to an array of entities. Why native array convert void into output entities. What's this? Can I convert void to Unity's entities? What do you mean void to entities? Wasn't the necessary entity output entity? Do. An array to receive the entity objects of the root entity in each clone. Oh, okay, so right. So this creates a sync point every time we use it. Which means every time this is running, it does that. What we could do instead is we could create an array of all the entities that we know we're going to use for this, because we have the numbers here. We could create an array of entities this long, and then we could just read each entity. So we create all of them in one hit, and then read them here, which would be better for performance. Not needed for what I'm doing here. Sorry, Amber, what? I heard apparently Unreal and Visual isn't perfect. Unreal and Visual? Do you mean Visual Studio? Doesn't recognize all Unreal C++ stuff. I have no idea. I didn't really. I haven't done Unreal at all, so I don't know. This is fine, but what I don't want to do is add the data to each and every one of the entities in there, because that won't make any sense, because each one's an independent chip. What I want to do now is grab all of these and make them a child. Okay. Entity chip equals dot create entity. Anything go in here? Archetype, component types. No, okay. So we'll make a chip. Okay. Don't worry about the chip entities. Okay. I might. New. Let's write entities. Okay, it's a dot. -4. So we create an entity like that. Okay. On the corner segments, on the chip segments, right? Okay. Then in here, instead of instantiating, is going to be chip entities dot x times y. Right. So some got spawned and left behind. Using new equals right. I don't know what I'm doing here. I really don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. They all spawned in the center. Allocator dot assistant. I'm confused. Oh, wait, they are over there. This is... Oh, hold on. I bet this is overwriting. Because x times y is... Isn't x times y plus y? Isn't that how you get it? Just why the corner segments and the pins aren't moving now, which is weird. Go back to the other way. Go back to the other way. This doesn't work. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, let's see if they all end up being the nope, now they're all over there. Right, okay. So this to do with the setting the parent. Yes, it's all to do with setting the parent. Okay. So do I have to set the parent first? Which means the way of creating the chips things was fine, was working absolutely fine. So nope, setting the parent absolutely breaks them. We go back to this. Okay, and then when we set the segments, let's not do that. And here, let's do a for each entity in chip entities. So it's definitely setting the parent. The problem is I don't see a parent on here. Linked entity group. Relationships. Not set the entities, set the parents. I need to do a better way of doing this. I need to research some more into this because I don't know what I'm doing. So, oddly enough, some of our components are not getting any information. So it should be 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that still works. That is the correct number. For some reason, four of them don't move, which does kind of make sense actually. Because we're doing that here and we're doing 4 there, so we're going to miss out a couple. It's a bit of a weird layout though for the only 3 didn't get programmed. What if I was to add them all to the parent straight away, then modify all this stuff? We haven't actually instantiated any of them yet, have we? I don't think it's going to work. That's going to crash, isn't it? Yeah. Which does not exist yet, so I haven't actually instantiated any of them yet. If we set the parent, we then can't set the local transform. Weird. What about local to world? Oh. Value dot position. Nope. You can only get the position this way, you can't set the position. Yes, man, it's read only. Okay. Do I have to set the component data and not add the component data? Parents has not been added. Unity transform.parent has not been added. Yield in it. Okay, so if I set the parent, it doesn't work that way. That's annoying. And even if I set them all and then set the parent, it doesn't work. Component. New local transform. Add component later. Give it a local transform, then we'll set it and see whether that works. Nope. Right. Okay. So I don't know why you are. This is the thing. If I do this, some of them are moving. Some of them, 3 of them are not. Which I don't get why 3 of them are not. Them or not, because this one, and this one are being skipped. Then this one's coming. What if I didn't take away that 4? If I do take away that 4, then I can't do -4 here because x is 0, y is 0, plus y is 0. But it won't, because if x is 0 and y equals 0, then that's that. So it must be x equals 1. So it would be 0 times 1 plus 1 makes 1. I need to figure out how to create this as one thing. Because I can't set the parent and then go date dot entity manager dot add component ship new science or physics, right? Dot I want physics shape 2D. I want collider. Can I convert physics collider to entities component type? Dot bots collider. Must be users preferences. A component data. Okay, so off. Right, so we can apparently do that. Okay. Test chip. I honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. You may have noticed that over the last couple of hours, but I kind of have an idea what I'm doing, but this is not the way to do it. I'm just trying to get it sort of brute force working as it is. All component types must know before. Create register. What's this? All component types must be known at compile time. Generic components, each concrete type must be registered with a registered component type. What is a registered component type when it's at home? Register. I don't want. No, that's no. Right. I'm surprised the physics system isn't built in. You can't do that because that's not valid. Yeah, well, I'm going to leave this one here because I'm stuck. I'm utterly stuck, and I need to go and research lots of stuff and try and figure out what I'm doing here. This is not what I want to be doing. What I want to be doing is creating the chip dynamically, like creating the chip as one object. So here, I don't know why this is. So there, I think I know why I'm missing these three as well, but I don't get why it's these three. It's very strange why it's those three. But if it was three on the end or three on one side, I get. But that I don't get. I don't know. But I'm creating this, and if I could put a box around it, it'd be fine. However, yeah, I've got three over here that do the thing. This is wasting lots of geometry because each one of these is a box. So if I go inside here, you can see there's internal boxes inside here, and that's wasting lots of stuff because none of that ever gets seen. That's wasting a lot of stuff. So instead of this being well, the outside of this would be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Instead of being 12 render calls around the outside, it's actually 4 8 12 16 24 times 3 render calls. Not render calls, that's not the right term. That's not the right term at all. But yeah, there's lots of geometry in the boxes that doesn't need to be there, which can help, but I know nothing about it. That's okay. That's okay. So yeah. Oh, Ember, sorry, I didn't see that. Also about good paid autofill extensions. I remember I don't autofill with tab. Yeah, well, I mean, if you could get Visual Studio working with it and you signed up to GitHub, which is free, you get Copilot for free, which is quite nice saying. Yeah, so I need to make it, and if I could make the chip, it doesn't matter about the pins underneath. The pins can be multiple things. That's not necessarily important. But if I could make the chip itself be one object, I could then put a box around it, or at least have a box around it. Yeah, and then I could put a box around it. It could, because what I could do is make an object that's small but has enough vertices to do what we want to do. Hang on, this wouldn't work anyway. I don't want to put a box around the chip. The box needs to be around the pins. Because they're the interaction point, it's the pins. So the pins want to have their own box collider, which is fine. We could do that and just spawn as many pins in as we need. But I need to make the chip above them be one object so that they can register with the chip above them. Did we in fact create a thing called we didn't create a thing called, we did, there it is, test chip. There it is, relationships. It has no relationships, there's no components. It's got a local transform, but it has no children. Although I'm not actually setting we gave it a local transform so we could move it around. Because the idea is that I need this to be able to create the chip whenever we want to put it down. Like it builds the chip from whatever spec we give it, and just makes the ghost of it. So boom, it's got it there, and it replaces all the top segment can be like a green or a grey, and then the underneath segments can just stay as gold. That won't matter at all. Right. But what I need to do as well is go in and edit these pins, because there's lots of stuff that doesn't need to be in there. So like the let's go down. Yeah, I don't need any of this top piece at all. It can be hollowed out. Just have that go through there. Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to go and try and figure out creating procedural message from vertex data, because I can do that. I can get the vertex data of the object I need to know. I can know how to do that, how to get the points. I just don't know how to translate those points into the chip. So yeah. Okay. Right. Do you know what? Yeah. Bah. So we shall leave this one here. We shall come back tomorrow and play Icaria, and that's much easier to figure out than this. So yeah, and we'll go hunting our drones. I need to find a way to speed up the drones in Icaria to make it move quicker, so we can mine out the things better. So that's what we're going to do. And then yeah, we're back to doing this on Thursday. Hopefully I have some stuff done. I might do some stuff like off camera with things just to learn some bits and pieces and see how we go. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'm going to go because you clearly don't want to look at me. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun